This one not day off in mind.
Mayegun don't come,
Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh.
Mayegun don't come,
And people make you shout.
Mayegun don't come,
Mayegun that come man of the masses.
Mayegun don't come,
Mayegun diary politico.
Mayegun don't come,
This man not day off in mind.
Mayegun don't come,
Aha. Now him una don hear o. All these bad politicians them we call themselves politicians.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Mayegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré.
Thank you very much. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and then tell them that Mayegun today. Usually, it's always so good like this when we are watching it live. But when you are watching the replay, right, you can skip all of the music, the talking, the waiting. We do this because most of the broadcasts here are done live, and therefore it's uncut. So when you have to watch a replay, remember, you can forward and skip all of these parts, everything, to the real thing.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
Few days ago, we received the video of the kidnapped passengers on Kaduna Abuja railway, the train. And since then, we have been expecting a better reaction from the government of Nigeria. But since Nigeria is currently leaderless, governmentless, except for the jihadists who have taken over the reign of power, we saw, or let's say I actually read something from Garbage Shehu. You know, the absentee presidency that you have in Nigeria has, created the characters who have not only treated you as citizens of Nigeria with so much disdain, but they do that with so much, condescending, like, well, they have something called the presidency. Mind you, in Nigeria, presidency doesn't mean that the president, okay? The presidency means the two clowns that speak garbages every now and then without any consequences, by the way. So when they talk about presidency, they are talking about Garbage Shehu, his own vice, Femi Oponu Adesina. These two are the mouthpiece of the presidency. So they responded. They said, yeah, we saw the video. We saw how they were beating all the victims. And we know that they have been kidnapped since March 28th of March 2022. But what else do you want Buhari to do? Like, what do you want him to do? He's done his best. All of you complaining, the media, you too, you should go and rescue them. That is to say, you are on your own. Something that many of you are finding difficult to actually take in, especially those of you who are building new hope in a completely shattered, ruined Nigeria. So while I was still trying to kind of come back from that, well, those who got who are in the net of kidnappers, you are on your own. That's the point. Now, from that shock, I was watching this channel's conversation where Isale Barack Obama Fashola was being interviewed. And from some of what he said, among other, from some of the gibberish that he actually uttered, the lies and fraudulent statement that he made, by the way, right? I picked few. One of what he said, he was asked that, listen, you claim that under Buhari, right, that you have succeeded so well under you for the first time in 30 years, Nigeria national grid collapsed. And it didn't end there. It collapsed 4 straight times before they now changed him to, took away that ministry from him. You never did anything on power. Now, when it comes to this road construction and all of that, you claimed to have started the 500 roads. Can you tell us 5 of them that you have completed? Ladies and gentlemen, stories, right? But there's something he said. He said, if not for them, if not because of Buhari, that Boko Haram would have taken over the entire Nigeria on the security part. He said, if not for Buhari, there would have never been so much investment in, he called it infrastructure, by the way. He couldn't really pinpoint them. Then he started talking about second Nigeria bridge, Oweto bridge, 2 bridges in 8 years. Then he added the beautiful line that they believe that the Amugus will always swallow. He said, with the success and successes of Buhari, that intelligent people are always going to keep them in power. Me, I'm not really interested in who you want to keep in power or who you don't want to keep in power. I am more interested in explaining to you the consequences of what you choose to do, especially when you are, deeply buried in the ashes of this crook. That's, their stinking morality and their stinking, their failure is so obvious that indeed it has to take somebody intelligent to keep them in power. But there are some things you need to know. Certain things you need to know, or we should all please know. As we speak, the security of life and properties is no longer the responsibility of those who claim to be your government. You need to take that in, swallow it, right? Digest it if you would give it time, because that is the truth. If you ever get caught for any reason, at any place or anywhere, by any of these terrorists, just pray that your family will be able to raise enough fund as ransom, and then pray that even after collecting that ransom, right, they still won't kill you. That is the present reality in Nigeria as we speak. Then the other part is, the call that is coming, the one that said that he is going to indeed build on the legacy of this failed government. Now, when you talk about failure, some of you sometimes, in fact, I'll take it from there. Like, some of the people who say yes, 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 yes to these failed rogues, yeah, when you tell them about the danger or the level of destruction that these guys have brought upon Nigeria, and why rather than grouping up and say, I mean, trying to see if you could defeat the system and then maybe get your life back, how about you actually call the bloodline the same one that is validating them or revalidating them under whatever guys the peak. So when we tell you that as failed as as failed as they have done, the level of a failure they have brought upon Nigeria and the destruction of lives and properties they've brought upon Nigeria, if you have anything at all to do, anything reasonable to do at all, is to not only reject them, you should in fact form what is called the citizens police, and would never let these rogues get away with the with the crimes they have committed. Now let's take them one by one. So when we say that to you, and some of you feel like, no, you are keeping them as they are, defending them everywhere, no matter how much or how stupid they make you look, right? In the face of all this failure, you probably think you are doing anybody a favor, right? When somebody tells you that look at what they have done, if you take your time and you add 1 + 1 and you get the exact answer 2, same thing if you add 1 + 1 of all these their activities, right? You can easily predict what the end result will be. Okay, so why do you want to subject yourselves or your family to the trauma of validating these rogues that never mean well? I mean, once you find out and you're not lying to yourself, right? So if somebody says, reject them, reject Nigeria that they are forcing on you, this is not a federal republic. This is an enslaved plantation, a contraption. And some of you are going to be dragged into it through religion or being tied down to it through the tribal benefit or whatever you are gaining from it, right? Before Nigeria kill you, right? It is better you kill this Nigeria they want to force on you. They are forcing it on you. So if somebody tell you that, right, and you said, no, Nigeria is a great country, we are going to blah, 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 you are not doing anybody any favor. Especially when somebody showed to you, as you have seen very well, right? If you have a business and then people, I mean, you are looking for those to manage those businesses, your business with your own sweat. Oh, I'm not talking about a stolen money or Yahoo money, right? Your own sweat. And then you set it up, you want success. And Buhari, yeah, walked in. Tifnumbu walked in, right? And then others walked in. What would be your advice to the first two I mentioned who wants to be the CEO of your business? Wouldn't you say, wow, I am so impressed. I am so honored that you found you found my business, interesting enough or kind of worthy enough of your service. But sir, with this your age, with this your health, would you have handed over your business to these hold entities? That's the first one. Then when you now talk about the health, right? Personally, would you allow your own aged grandpa, right, to go and take up a new job, especially when he's medically unfit? This is not even like wishing anybody anything. We are talking about health now, age, health, as we speak, right? But you see, Some of you prefer that. So therefore, you think if you go ahead and bring upon this another calamity upon yourselves or whatever, do you really think you are actually doing anybody but yourselves? Do you think if you reject this hegemony they are forcing on us, this Nigeria they are forcing on us, because you may not know, this is no longer the Nigeria many of you grew up in. I am probably not speaking to the Indomie generation yet. I am speaking to those who are your parents. If you were born in the new millennium, the year 2000, I am not talking to you yet because you may be living in the bubble of the lies that your own parents, when they were your age, they also believed in. Do you understand? So I'm not talking to you. I am talking to those who are older than you. I am talking to you there, sir, ma, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old men and women. When I tell you to reject this new 21st Fulani plantation that they are planting among us, destroying our value, destroying our culture, destroying our economy, destroying our education, and finally ruining our own security. All of these things you are witnessing today, these are not the Nigeria of old you knew. So when they tell you to break it up and reject this one, what we are saying is that if you have a sense of history, you will realize that even if you believe that Nigeria was once bad, this country is bad, though. There's never a time this country is good, though. I'm talking to those of you who are old enough right now. You will be worried. You will be scared. Some of you are worried for your children as much as, So when they tell you to reject this, reject it. Because those who are forcing them on you, they are using the instrumentality of that one fraudulent Nigeria. Now, when you now see an old, demented, what is that sickness called when somebody is shaking, right? Let me show you. When somebody is shaking at this level, there's a name for it. Tell me. I'll continue now. What do you call this again? Those who are working, and then when an adult, when they are wetting themselves, right, that they will need pampers and all that stuff. There's a name for it. Tell me.
He said, "Now, I'm begging you, I'm begging you to tolerate and make peace part of your master plan. You be there, and the answer for you, I'll be a youth, and I'm a youth."
What do you call it again? Incontinence. I think that's what it's called. Incontinence is when you are unable to control your wee-wee. That is health concern. Do you get that now? This one has nothing to do with, oh, we know you don't like him. That's why you are, what if he is your baba? What if he's your distant? Now, Buhari that has abandoned you, as we speak right now, even the Buhari days, the Buhari dideris, the Buhari denotus, the Buhari dijatus, the Buhari shukus, the ungoziaris, the unekaris, right? All of these social media bandits and Facebook adsmen, the Umoru, Usumanu, and then Tohibu, and all of these people who were shouting Sai Baba 7 years ago, even 2-3 years ago. Some of them are collecting right now. They are now screaming, Kai Baba, Kai Baba, Kai Baba. Now, listen to this. So, Buhari is so old that Household Rock, that is the Household Rock, has become the old people's home. Now, if you as a young person, let me tell you something, by the way. You can see all of these obvious signs, right? And it is good if you understand them better before you jump into them. And for whoever mean well for you, they will never, ever, right, encourage you to put your future in that Nigeria these rogues are promising, because there's absolutely nothing there. When we were growing up, they told us, do you know the worst fear that these rogues created? Nigeria is done for. Listen to me. You are in Nigeria right now, right? The reasons why they are still using a sort of a threat to hold Nigeria, before even you looking at me right now, before you will lose your mind, guess what? They have destroyed Nigeria completely, economically, right? And this is what that means, okay? In a space of time, especially with this global economic whirlwind, EG, it is called EG, right? It is affecting every country right now. But you see that one in Nigeria, it has eaten so deeper. And you see some of us who are sending money back to Nigeria, sending money back, subsidizing the economy for you, and doing all of that, still kind of check, covering the asses of your failed politicians. Soon, many of us won't be able to send money as we are sending before, okay? For example, now, I'll tell you this. The reason I'm telling you this is this. The economy that they destroyed in Nigeria through looting, mismanagement, and, uncontrollable borrowing, which has now further crashed and devalued your naira, devalued your economy, devalued your jobs, creating job losses, creating more poverty. Even your politicians, who knows that globally now, people where they give you money, they don't go to get money to give anybody anymore. All of us abroad sending over $30 billion back into Nigeria economy every year. We are also going to be affected. This is how, okay? And when we get spare money, we they try to send 10,000, 5,000 naira, 20,000, 100,000, 30,000. You see all this money, they go straight into your economy. Your government, for every money that comes into your country, they are targeting them, taking their cuts. Now, when you get that money, when you begin to spend that money, they are there as well, taking their cut from that money. They are not planning to give you anything back, okay? So when all of that money they are collecting from you, right? With the level of the debt in Nigeria, okay, the level of debt that Nigeria is in right now, it has gotten to a stage that all the money they are collecting from you, they are not even enough to service the base, the debt. So what does that tell you? That tells you that, one, Nigeria will go bankrupt in a matter of months, because this is the election time, Abi. This Kolu, who has no solution, none of them can explain to you how they are going to even tell you the truth, how they are going to bring you out of this koto, this particular pit they have dumped you in, right? You see, when we were young, right? When we were young, they told us, they said, you need to be very, very careful of what you say. Watch your mouth, because of two things. Because of your life, and then because of your future. You see, these two things, for those who grew up in the 70s, 80s, early 90s, some of them we are age mates, so they will understand perfectly the picture I'm about to paint to you right now. Okay, paint for you right now. They said, shut up your mouth. Don't say anything. Especially when elders are talking. Who are the elders? Anyone who is older than you. Keep your mouth shut. If you say something and then somebody get offended, they can just kill you or kill your destiny. So that fear makes many of us become zombies compliance. You know what I mean? Inside of you, you will see something that is so wrong. But when you look at the people perpetuating that wrong, automatically they would expect you, or should I say, well, I'm a Yoruba man, okay? They would expect your Yoruba, the Yoruba in you, the submissive one that they planted in you. They did that. conditionally in a way. They will tell you, shut up your mouth, oh. You are a small boy. Watch what you say. So when you begin to grow up, right? Then they will change that to, because they believe that somebody can spiritually kill your destiny and you will never make it in life. And you know, you want to make it in life as a child, won't you? So as a kid, they are already telling you, don't say it, oh. If you see this and that, you see that woman there, she was cursed by that mama because she said something. That is why she can no longer have a husband. That is why all her children died. Because of that, watch your mouth as a kid, oh. Don't let them kill you. So that fear of watch your mouth, especially when you are seeing older people, is always there. I know so many of you still have that fear in you right now. You need to watch your mouth when you are talking to people. Watch your mouth, oh. They may spiritually attack you. They may destroy you, blah, 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 blah. They planted them in you intentionally. They planted that in us intentionally from childhood, so that when we grow up, they will be able to have something, just something, to control whatever rage that you might want to express. Nobody will live in that contraption like that without any kind of social conditioning and every other thing that comes to play in the later life. Your later life. If you are not there, you will be mad. But it's not controlled, Abby. The second one is watch what you say because of your future. Your future includes, let me tell you something. Because I am Mayegun, which I will always be Mayegun, the Mayegun general. Some will say, I am one man mopo. Others will say, Ìdààmú àdúgbò yín rèé o. They gave me different names. But you see, there are so many people who are also sitting down. They've been sitting down for the past 10 years now. You know why? Because they were worried for my future. Some of them are still telling me now. I am talking about those that they have already mortgaged their future. They have already borrowed and looted whatever is left, not of their own future only. They've even borrowed and mortgaged the future of the children that would, if any of them ever produces anything or produces any children, those children's future have already been mortgaged. Now that fear of, look at this Mayegun. So one day, this Mayegun will now come and say, he want to be senator, he want to be governor, he want to be this and that. We will show him he's been abusing our leaders. You know why? They told them that even if it is bad, don't say it for the sake of your future, so that your turn, your day will come. That is the act of Omoluwabi. That is not true. That is why whenever anyone is trying to blackmail you as a Yoruba man, trying to make you feel like there are some of this fear they planted in you. This witch. I don't want this witch to touch the head of my daughter. I don't want this person to see the sponge we used to bath my. I don't want this person to come and use the handkerchief to touch my belly, so that my wife will never give birth again. I don't want that person. You see all of these things, They are social conditioning. They are not real. But you see, in Nigeria, some will say there is this cloud of darkness that even if you are educated, seriously, you will be controlled by it. Even if you are not confessing it publicly. All of these things are there. But some of you don't know how they really deploy them. You may be wondering, so Mayegun, what is all of this with what you are saying? I am coming back to the part where I have seen people use that same Yoruba, the original Yoruba that we are. People who are so inquisitive, people who are always thorough, people who always always asking questions. And when people compromise, we easily know as Yorubas. The people who brought terrorists that divided Nigeria, the terrorists that impoverished all of us, the terrorists that believed that one day, soon, me, Mayegun, I will be living in that Nigeria, and every day of my life will be a privilege because I am an infidel. Do you understand that? Yeah? Then, as a Yoruba man, okay, ó ń gbọ̀n lọ́wọ́, ó ń gbọ̀n lọ́rùn, oh, this or that, yeah? Who also publicly, yeah, confessed that it would be completing or continuing from the legacy of Buhari. What are the legacies of Buhari? The first one is the UK hospital permanent stay. Tifnumbu will replace him in that hospital, of course. So you as a person, with what you have witnessed under Buhari, under this APC, Egbekegbe, right? And then you still want to be part of another what again? I don't know what name they will give it to. They will give to it. That's why some people are now saying that. Well, people like us are saying, why do you want to be sacrificed for a place that is actually waiting to sacrifice you? Why would you want that? To be, even if you don't pity, if you don't pity yourself, why don't you pity your parents? Why don't you pity your own children? These are questions that ordinary, they were asking Fashola, the Saleko, Aristotle, Abina, Barack Obama. He said Nigeria is not bankrupt, that Nigeria may be stylishly broke. Guys, 5 years ago, this same Isaleko Aristotle was telling everyone that the reasons why Nigeria were suffering what they were suffering at the time was because PDP failed to save money during the oil boom. That because they didn't save during the raining day, that is why Buhari had no money to augment your economy so that it won't go into recession, job losses, business losses. But they were lying. These criminals, they came in 2015. If no be say many of their sellers are suffering from what is called the Stockholm syndrome. Are you with me? Look at how they bankrupted Nigeria. Make I give you the dateline, okay? And when a country is broke, bankrupt, unable to meet up their what did they call them? Their financial obligation to lenders, to this or that, what will happen is that crime will increase because there will be job losses. Devaluation of your currency means that even though you are not spending dollar. In fact, I'm coming there. Make I give you the timeline first. How they destroyed Nigeria. This is not just the jihadist alone now. Economic jihad that this rogue declared on Nigeria, and they have successfully completed it. In fact, today it has been declared. It has been completed completed to the tune of 110% completed. Nigeria is in -0. No, Nigeria is in -25. That is red. But this is the timeline when they came in 2015. It wasn't long when they gave the Paris Club refund. You remember that money? Don't worry, I will remind you, because some of you may pretend. Hey, how did they destroy it? Hey, come on, calm down. Calm down. If you need a pen, grab a pen and start writing them down, okay? It first started from one, Paris Club refund, where over 600 billion naira was refunded back to Nigeria as overpayment of the debt payment made by Nigeria and states, federal government and states to Paris Club, right? So they refunded that money. When they shared that money, the Ogun State, where me I come from, they collected 14 billion naira. Lagos State, where some of the Lagos Abobakus come from, Lagos collected over 28 billion naira. I they remember the ones where they remember, okay? And on like that. But you see that of Kogi. Kogi collected 11 billion. That's the first money with the first share. You know why? They said PDP and some states, 26 states in Nigeria, they were unable to pay salaries. Remember that, Abi? So, they now called on the central bank, Emefiole. Emefiole, these governors, they said they need money. What can you do? Let us arrange small loans for them. Again, including the states where we say they were not even owing salary, they applied. Kogi State got another 12 billion, making it 23 billion, Abi. Ogun State collected their own, another about 10 billion. Everybody shall share that money. This was the first 2 months when APC came in. But before they came in, Obasanjo, listen to this. Obasanjo created an account called excess crude account. The purpose was in Nigeria, before they write their budgets, they use what they called oil, barrel of oil benchmark. So if they are selling crude oil at, let's say, $70, Nigeria will put their own budget benchmark at $45, just in case. Okay, you see that excess, that money in dollars, it will go into that account created by Obasanjo so that they can save for raining day. Within the first 4 years of that account, in fact, put it this way, when Obasanjo was handing over to Yaradua, the balance in that account was $21 billion. Now, dollars, not naira, dollars, 21 billion, okay? So when Yaradua came in, and he did his own abracadabra for 3 years, and he died. When Jonathan took over the power, he got the balance of $15.2 billion. Dollars, so not naira, in that same account. The day Jonathan was handing over to Buhari in 2015, Jonathan himself done depleted the account to how much? To $7.5 billion, 2015, okay? But what happened? Under Jonathan, the Fashola, Governor Eko, Oshiomole, Governor Edo, who else? I can't remember all of them. Then Amechi, especially Amechi, Governor of Rivers, they instituted a case against the government of Nigeria that this oil money now, everybody's money. What gave you the right to be putting the money somewhere and say you are the one controlling it? So they sued Jonathan and federal government that they must share the money. Now, from the negotiation, out of court settlement, Jonathan withdrew over $7 billion from that money, shared the money, and the money disappeared. So in their campaigns in 2015, they accused Jonathan of spending the excess crude account money. Remember, this is the timeline of what took you to today's Bambiala, Nigeria. Are you following me? So when Jonathan handed over power to Buhari APC, he gave the excess crude account balance of 7.5 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, in the space of 4 years, the balance of the account of the excess crude account, well, depleted straight to 1 billion, just $1 billion and $50 million. They have withdrawn, they have withdrawn over $6 billion from that account. No account, nobody can say what they use it for. When the election was coming in 2019, right? They went into that account again, withdrew $1 billion. They gave Donald Trump They said they gave Donald Trump, America, 600 million, even though they only paid $445 million for the 12 Tucano jets. That is not where I'm going. Oh. Now, as they depleted whatever they can get, anything they can devour, they devour them. Yeah? The crude oil in Nigeria suddenly jumped from $60 to 70, 80, 100, 120. And guess what? In 7 years, APC, Egbekegbe under Buhari, NNPC of APC, Egbekegbe, they have only been able to add just $70 million to the excess crude account in 7 years. Yeah. And guess what? Since the APC, Egbekegbe, came to power, NNPC, that is selling your crude oil, they cannot account for what they are selling anymore, right? And they are even publicly, shamelessly, they are coming to the public to say NNPC is owing them billions of dollars. Do you remember that time that Baru? How many of you remember Baru? Baru, the guy that was the former NNPC chairman, remember him? He's dead now. And the Baru flew to London, where Buhari was a vegetable in London hospital. Baru left your acting president in Nigeria, and he brought here a deal which has to do with renewal of oil refinery, oil rigs in Nigeria. And this package, or let me say this new licenses, fetched Nigeria over $27 billion, right, in royalty. Today, rather than see a dime from that, now paper then see shishi, shingbang, see. Guess what? Under them, they took your debts from somewhere around, around the $30 billion to what is now over $100 billion. SS crude account. How much? Some of you don't even know how much they are selling crude oil anymore. Do you? Do you even care anymore? Because you have no idea. Or you do, you just choose not to. So they depleted every avenue that could at least hand them forex, so that somehow, the only thing they've always been using to strengthen their naira, their crude oil, even with the war in Ukraine, it got to a stage nobody even wanted to buy Nigeria crude oil anymore. Nigeria is broke, bankrupt. Now they resorted into something, They resorted into what they called round tripping. That is another economic crime committed under this APC, Egbekegbe, that brought about this destruction that you are witnessing today. Round tripping. Round tripping is a situation whereby you will see an aboki standing beside an hotel in Port Harcourt, or standing beside a bus stop somewhere in Lagos, and he's standing there and he's quite capable of providing over $100,000 for you, a businessman that should never bring your money to the streets in the first place, right? That is what is called round tripping, because those dollars are being given to them directly from the Central Bank of Nigeria because of who they are and where they come from. It is what it is, isn't it? So the rest of you who are doing legitimate businesses, you would have to rely on these roadside money changers, roadside bureau de change, roadside rogues, empowered by the Central Bank of Nigeria, Emefiole of APC, Egbekegbe. When they destroyed your naira to that point, they asked Emefiole, what can we do? What can we do to revive the naira? They say, now all these people where they sell dollars, now all this bureau de change. They say, what can we do then to deal with them? They are always standing under these trees, You know, there's this place in Abuja. I don't remember the name. If you remember the name, you can help me tell the people. There's a place in Abuja where I don't know, I can't remember the name. So they planted, there was a tree plant, there were trees planted there to create this eco-friendly environment. Okay. This APC, Egbekegbe, because they wanted to strengthen the Naira, they wanted to stop black market dollars, which they themselves actually give to them to go and sell. You know what Emefiele did? They said the policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria to stop the sale of dollars in black market is to cut down all of the trees. That is giving all of the abokis the shade. Ogbeni, Nigeria to enter Kana. Some said no be Kana. You don't enter somewhere that is endless hole, a pitless, a bottomless pit. And they did all of this, and they are still patting themselves on the back. Today, Nigeria is more indebted to China. Yes, here is another economic sabotage committed by these rogues. It got to a stage when they became so desperate and completely lost. Yeah, they said, wait, what is so important about dollar, Seth? What is so important about that? Buhari should go to China. Go and make deal with China. China is helping Africa. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? That cost Nigeria $10 billion. Nobody is holding them responsible. They went to the World Bank, into your foreign reserve, and they withdrew $10 billion and they gave it to China. This was in 2017 or so. They gave it to China. The campaign then was that dollar is going to crash in Nigeria. But ladies and gentlemen, China collected the dollars, added to their own reserve. And then I said, come here. What else do you have to offer? We don't give you deposit of no, that's not it. What about all these your resources that we already use a geomap to locate in Nigeria? Your gold deposit here, your alkaline or what have you put a deposit there, and every other mineral resources we found there that are good for commercial, export. So would you let us go for them? And at the same time, listen, we can't give you the yen and the naira for that same exchange. You are not offering us anything for real. So they made all this devil's deal. And that is why today, when you turn everywhere in southern Nigeria mostly, you will begin to see the Chinese. Some of them, they don't have any real license anywhere, but they are covered under that bilateral agreement. As it is, they mortgage everything right before your eyes. Nigeria is more indebted to China now than they are to the rest of the world. And guess what? It still never cuts down. The hemorrhage. So that same APC, Egbekegbe, who have now legitimized terrorism. They still have no, what do you call it? Maybe I shouldn't even say they don't, because they do. From the intel that we have, even though Kolu may be desperate, of course he is desperate. Now, Amechi says all of the delegates that collected money, they are regretting. They said they have been calling a meeting to have Pastor Ruga to come on board. He's been avoiding them. The day they said they want to go and unveil the Muslim ticket for Kolu, most of the people who actually thought that they will put every other thing behind them as they muzzled them out of their ticket in the late hour, many of them pulled out. As it is right now, the war within themselves is even bigger than what many of you think you have in stock for them for your election. And I'm not joking about this. And same thing applies to this Atiku and Co. too. Wike also came out just a few days ago, yesterday, and he said, whatever Atiku like, let him say. Whatever PDP like, let them say. In the next few days, he's also going to tell everybody what happened. So what happened? Kolu that knows that Nigeria is done for. How could he say he loves Nigeria, right? Lying to you. And then they are willing to spend over 200 billion naira just to make him president with another jihadi. Hello. So many of their own friends, even those who are like Muslims like them, they are already pulling out. And this is the point, yeah? They might have actually like outplayed themselves as we speak. From what we have been told, they have outplayed themselves. The point where they make you feel like there is still something to hold on to in Nigeria is continually fading. And I'll tell you another one. You see, with the stage where Nigeria is right now, if you wake up tomorrow morning and you hear the military song, fellow Nigerians, and whatever, a coup, please don't be too surprised. The best you should do is to be more prepared. Economy has collapsed. Security has collapsed. Governance has collapsed. The country is divided. Everywhere is gone dead. But because politicians will try to tell you that they can make a dead stone come back alive, especially now that they have all the solutions. You see, now they are all concerned about you, but they are not concerned about anything. If you pay attention very well, you will realize that if they are being sincere, they will not be calling for an election right now. They will rather be calling for a national conversation to determine, do you even still have a country? Because this is what you're going to get in the next few days. In the next few weeks, few months, right? Nigeria will no longer be able to meet any of their financial obligation. Financial obligations include, you see those ones that are talking about subsidy, which they have now jacked up to over 500% increase ever into a 1 year of over 4.2 trillion naira. They don't have that money. So you begin to experience shortages of fuel. You will begin to pay more, even though there will be more scarce until they will completely dry off. Okay. Then after that, you are going to run out of food. The reason is this: terrorists who are committing who are wreaking havoc on our farms, chasing the farmers away, right? The government, who is also ensuring that the monopoly of food importation into Nigeria is given to just 2 individuals, right? So at the end of the day, it will get to a point whereby you will run out of the local supply and you run short of that. And then at the same time, your imported food will no longer be able to feed you anymore. It's already getting to that stage, but they just want you to continue to get used to this, your 010, right? No breakfast, eat lunch, and no dinner. Or 001, no breakfast, no lunch, but you can manage to get dinner. We've had some people who have been living through 000, right? And yeah, these are the signs. So as you continue to move on into the end of the year, your naira will continue to crash, okay? Because they would need, it has gotten to a stage whereby since not many people are working, your government will never have enough money. So since your government will never have enough money to even take care of themselves, talk less of paying off their loans, your government will need to go and borrow more money in order to pay off their loan that they can't pay back now. So that's how they have to do it until they will not be able to do it anymore. Until their lenders will begin to put them and remove they are already removing Nigerians' name in some of these top lenders abroad. But it's going to spread more. And it's going to send them more signal to this, more negative messages to all these lenders. And when we talk about lenders, don't let anybody lie to you that you have everything you have in Nigeria. That's what politicians will tell you. You don't. And that is the truth. Okay. So if somebody says it's coming to take Nigeria from a consumption to production, at least you will build the industry first, won't you? before you begin a production, Abi. Eh? Now, as it is, by the time APC, Egbekegbe, is done with you, by the end of this year, right, they won't be able to pay for the subsidy that they are stealing the money anymore. So you walk out there, you'll be buying a liter of fuel for maybe 500 naira per liter. You won't even see it with so much queue, right? That's your cooking gas that you are buying 10 kg for how much now? 10,000 naira. You are going to walk out there before December, okay? You're going to buy it for more than 20,000 naira. This is a bag of rice, yeah? You're going to walk out there, right? And you are going to pay almost double of that before December as well, okay? Now, the way it is going, as it is now, then many of you will begin to feel the uncomfortability. Some of your businesses will begin to fold up as well. I'm not projecting doom. I am telling you to understand what even your own finance minister came out to tell you. We can no longer pay our debt. That's what she said. Not even paying it, servicing it. Do you know what servicing debt means? Yeah, I will explain to you. Let's say you come to me and say, Mayegun, I want you to borrow me 100,000 naira. Okay? And I say, oh, that's fine, but there's going to be an interest on it. And you say, okay, how much? And I say, well, first, it is 30% interest. Okay? But there are other conditions, right? If at the end of the month, you don't pay back the 30,000 naira on the loan I gave to you. Number one, you don't need to pay me back the 100,000 naira with the 30,000. Okay? You don't need to if you don't have it. I'll make it easier for you. But you must be paying me that 30,000 naira on that money. Okay? If you are paying me that 30,000 naira every month, you can keep the 100,000 for as long as you want. But when you are done, you can pay me back. Do you understand? Yeah? But if you fail to pay me 30,000 naira every month, I am going to charge you 10% of that my money. Okay? Plus the 30%. What does that mean? You know, 30% of the money is 30,000 naira. If you don't pay me back this month, if you don't pay me back in time, it will become 40,000 naira. If you don't pay me back at so time, it will become 50,000 naira. Okay? If you now wait till next month before you pay me, you know that one is another 30,000 Abi. Now that means I am going to take 60,000 naira. Then I'm going to take another 30,000 from you. What does that mean? You borrowed 100,000. Okay? If you miss your payment before the following month, you may be owing me 90,000 naira as interest, even though you are still owing me 100,000 naira. That's where Nigeria found herself, okay? Now, what does that mean? Nigeria will make sure that every month, in a year, they will budget and say, okay, how much money did we borrow now? So we have borrowed 1 million naira. Okay, 1 million. What is the total interest on everything? From how many people? From 7 people. Okay, 7 people. So, what is the total interest when you put it together? Sir, the total interest is about 470,000 naira. 470, but we borrowed 1 million. So we have to be paying 470,000 back every month in order to continue to enjoy the 1 million. Say, okay. So if we don't pay back, we may end up paying 1 million. You know, that's how Nigeria accumulated extra. Now, this extra that Nigeria is trying to, not the real loan, no, just the interest to, Nigeria can no longer. Whether not the penalty for not paying back in time, Nigeria can no longer afford it anymore. They can't pay. Your Nigeria can't pay. They can't meet up. So what they have right now, the reason why they said you have not bankrupted yet is this. Assets. Do you understand that now? Assets. Assets like if you have rail line, okay, people can still borrow you money. They can still give you loan. If you have airports, if you have crude oil, that you will tell them that they can pump as much as they want. You have to slash the price. So if they are selling crude oil for $110 per barrel, somebody wants to give you loan, can say, you know what, I can't buy it for $110. I'm going to pay $60 per barrel. But I'll give you that $2 billion you want. Okay? Then we are going to pump that oil until we realize our money, you know what I mean now? Assets. That is what Nigeria has left now. Assets. Excuse me, somebody is talking about audio. What happened to the audio? If your audio is acting up, I would implore you to sometimes, maybe you should come out of it. Okay. I'll check this out myself. 1 second. Yeah, I think I'm fine. Okay, you can hear me clearly now. Okay, better. Right. But is it better now? Is it kind of clearer now? Is that? Okay, let's check that out. There is, maybe it's because I am kind of moving back and forth. Sometimes it happens that way. Okay. So give me a sec. Yeah, I think we are fine. My audio is fine on my own device there. Let's see. No, my ego is still here. We haven't really off the mic. Okay, let's assume that it's better now. Is it? I will take note of that part if it is better now. All right, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what happened. So give me a sec. Okay, it is better now. Fair enough. I was explaining the concept of loan, lender, and then the borrower. I've been waiting the column. I was explaining that how Nigeria, under this APC, Egbekegbe, entered into this